7 Days EuroCup in association with
Well, welcome everyone to live coverage of the 7 Days EuroCup. In tonight's game, former EuroLeague champions Partizan Belgrade play host to former EuroCup champions Lokomotiv Kuban in the top 16 phase of the competition. These two teams met exactly a week ago in Krasnodar when this club here, Lokomotiv Kuban, won by 7 points, 74-67, on the strength of 15 points from Will Cummings. And you can see the arrival here of the Kuban players into this storied arena. They look to continue their journey in the top 16 phase. This is Group F, and you can see behind the masks the players who talked out to their coach.
And control the shooters. It's a Page, Perkins, Zagarets, Jaramaz, and also control the inside game, Thomas and Velichkovic, and control the rebound. For sure, they have to control the rhythm of the game and build up from defensive philosophy.
Well, the thoughts there of Coach Evgeny Pashtutin, who has got a club right now in Lokomotiv Kuban with the most potent offense in the competition and the best rebounding team, as he pays his tributes here to the players Partizan, who make their way into the arena. It is not their home arena, it is an ancestral home for them. I'll tell you just a bit about this venue when we get a chance, as the players arrive into the corridors as they try to reverse the result from last week.
Very collective basketball, smart, because they have very good individual qualities, and rebounding will be also today very important because they have size and strength.
Well, the sentiments there of Coach Saso Filipovsky, who does pay tribute to the fact that this team rebounds very, very well. So live action now as Partizan Belgrade hosts Lokomotiv Kuban in the top 16 phase of the 7 Days EuroCup. Well, fans, our venue tonight is the Ranko Zaravica Sports Hall. It is a part-time home of Partizan. And we can see the fixtures here in the top 16 phase of the competition. Our group, Group F, right down at the bottom. You can see Partizan getting ready to play Lokomotiv, and the results from elsewhere in the group. Well, this arena was the home to this storied basketball club from 1970 to 1990, as we see the standings in Group F. So Partizan and Lokomotiv Kuban bring a 1-2 record into tonight's contest. Remember, the top two teams from the group will advance to the next phase of the competition, into the playoffs, the quarterfinal phase. And so it's really not a must-win situation, but certainly you want to win to stay in touch with the top teams in the group. We feature some of the players who will play tonight. On the left, Marcus Page, the American who plays for Partizan. And on the right, Jordan Crawford. Crawford, one of the most talented scorers in the competition this year, averaging 16.6 points per game. Well, the players now on the sideline will get ready to come out onto the hardwood as the PA announcer brings them out onto the floor of this arena, which, as I was mentioning, was the home of Partizan from 1970 to 1990. Good to see Williams Goss here, who played for this club formerly in his career. Now he's a new signing for Lokomotiv Kuban, so a homecoming of sorts for Williams Goss, and a homecoming as well for this man here, number 32, Drew Gordon, also wore the colors of Partizan. Right now the players get a chance to walk in the footsteps of some of the legends of the game, Vlade Divac and Sasha Djordjevic. Sasha Djordjevic, of course, the coach of Bologna in this competition, played for Partizan. They led the club to the 1992 EuroLeague title. Djordjevic made a buzzer beater in Istanbul to win the title, and they beat none other than Juventus Badalona, who also graced this competition. The Partizan players come out onto the hardwood. They make their 5th appearance in the EuroCup. They've also been in the EuroLeague many years in their history. As I said, they won the title, the EuroLeague title in 1992. They've also advanced to 2 EuroLeague Final Fours in 1988 in Ghent, and then in 2010 in Paris when Bo McCallum, the talented and explosive American guard, played for them. You know, Partizan have got a history of not just winning titles, but of developing talent as well. It's been an incubator for many young players who start their careers here. Coach Filipic is going to come across and meet Coach Pastutin at midcourt. Kuban make their 8th appearance in the 7 days EuroCup. They won this title back in 2013. The only man still on the roster is Mantas Kalnietis, number 9, the Lithuanian point guard. He's the adult in the room. Kalnietis is quite an experienced player throughout the EuroCup and EuroLeague, and wearing the colors of Lithuania. And now the lineup here: Partizan led in scoring by Cody Miller-McIntyre, 13 points per game. Marcus Page averages 10 points per game. And you can see Pastutin now just going through some thoughts. Coach Pastutin won this competition in 2011 when he was at the helm of Unix Kazan, and then in 2013 when he took Kuban to the promised land. Here's your starting lineup across the bottom of your screen for the visitors. We'll see the starting 5 here for the hosts. And the players get just a couple more minutes to try and prepare themselves for tonight's contest. Of course, Partizan also play at the Alexander Nikolic Hall, the Stark Arena, which is the new 25,000 seat arena here in Belgrade. It is a real hotbed for basketball. The Serbians are passionate about their basketball. They've got great tradition. And we can see tonight's combined officiating crew. Of course, the referees will make the journeys to the European venues from their domestic leagues. They'll make sure the game is played in the right spirit tonight. Well, as I mentioned, when these two teams met, it was exactly a week ago. Round 3. Loko won at home in Krasnodar, 74-67. Cummings paced them with 15 points. Jordan Crawford had 14. And Lithuanian international Mindaugas Kuzminskis had 12. Partizan were led in scoring by Novica Veličković with 15 points. Page had 12. And Ognjen Jaramaz had 11 points. But Partizan coughed it up 18 times. They had 18 turnovers, and in many ways were architects of their own demise. So they come into tonight's game facing a 7-point deficit, and points differential will be important in this phase of the competition. Remember, we've got 4 teams in the group. This is Group F. We're in the top 16, and the top 2 teams will advance into the playoffs, the quarterfinal stage. There's Cummings there. American just getting ready. Scoring guard. He'll be joined in the backcourt by Kalnietis. It'll be Lokomotiv Kuban in the white uniforms. And this is the 6th time that these two clubs have faced each other on the European stage. Kuban with a 4-1 record. The only win Partizan enjoyed was back in Belgrade, or right here in Belgrade, I beg your pardon, in 2019. Kuban got to this stage of the competition, advancing through Group C, where they finished 2nd to a Bologna club that many people have pipped to win the title. They had an 8-2 record in the regular season. As for Partizan, they advanced through Group A, a very competitive Group A. They finished in 4th, but they had a winning record at 6-4. So quite a tight-knit group. Group A, Badalona topped that group. Unix Kazan in 2nd. The French club Bourg-en-Bresse in 3rd. And then Partizan held on to 4th with that 6-4 record. And Partizan in their traditional black and white colors. Their fans, of course, known as the Gravediggers, sadly not with us tonight. Well, the referee steps into the center circle. We are ready for action here in the 7 days EuroCup. Top 16 facing the competition, Group F, as first possession falls to the hosts, and Kuban settle into man-to-man defense. Jump shot just inside the arc, rims out. Just one and done this trip down the floor from Partizan. Cummings probes, darts to the basket. Nice assist inside. Good combination on the high screen and roll. It's Lynch with the finish, but Cummings did all the hard work. And Reggie Lynch just polished off the play. I think we've got a moving screen here. We do. It is on Veličković. You don't like seeing some of your more talented offensive players pick up those kinds of fouls. Referee's just setting up the stall early as to what kind of contact they will permit. Cummings across the midcourt stripe. He's going to ride the screen here of Lynch. Again, gets in the paint. Lynch gets busy inside, and the stick back is good. So good start for Kuban. 2 possessions, and they've come away with 4 points. Can Partizan get themselves in the score, but clean look for Page, who lets fly, rattles the rim. And good offensive rebounding. Veličković on the spot, lays it up and in. Page trying to close down the penetration of Cummings, gets some help. And the cross-court pass for the wide open 3. Crawford knocks down the jump shot. This time it's Lynch, the provider. So Lynch has been involved in every score so far in the game. And the perfect riposte for Partizan. It's Jaramaz with the 3. The game settles in to a nice opening tempo. Count is trying to get the ball inside, but the angle for the entry pass wasn't good. Now Cummings wants to go to work. It's off the glass. And the shot no good, but Marcus Page picks up his first foul. And Will Cummings will go to the stripe for the first free throws in the game. Well, fans, remember, you can track all the live in-game stats on the EuroCup website. It's allthews.eurocupbasketball.com. And just click on the link to tonight's game. And you can watch the numbers as you listen to the sounds and enjoy the images of the 7 days EuroCup. Very good start here by the away team. Kuban have been efficient on offense. Lynch with 4 points. Crawford with a 3. And now Cummings tacks on 2 free throws. Both teams played straight man so far in the contest. Got another turnover here, so it's 2 early turnovers for Partizan. Remember, they had those 18 turnovers in the loss a week ago. There's no doubt that would have been a talking point in practice. It might not just have been talking, might have been some sprints as well. Kalnietis turns the corner and kicks. Yeah, good defense here. It's Dangubic who puts his body on the line. Kalnietis with the offensive. Just gonna rotate over and establish position. He's got his feet outside the halo. Really good hard-nosed defensive play. Nemanja Dangubic draws the charge. Skip pass to Page. And a good closeout by Cummings. Now, Page swallowed up. It's a 3rd turnover. Crawford stop and pop. He knocked down the mid-range jump shot. Good transition basketball by Kuban. Dankovic gets to the dots. Another turnover. Now, Cummings in the open floor, and Dankovic commits the tactical foul to stop the transition. You can see Dankovic looks, there it is right there. There's no doubt about the foul. This allows Partizan to get back and regroup defensively, play some 5-on-5 basketball. Cummings is appealing to the referee. Dankovic and Crawford just trying to establish what sort of contact the referees will allow. Crawford around 2 screens. Here's Cummings, top of the key. Bullet pass inside to Hervey, who rises and scores right above the halo. It's almost been a perfect start for Kuban. They've been so efficient offensively. And remember, this is the leading offensive team in the competition. They average 88 points per game. And right now, they are rolling like a train for sure. As you see Hervey walling up, but gets called for the blocking foul. Partizan with an end line out of bounds, facing an early 8-point deficit. Yeah, Velickovic with the drive. Silky skills by Velickovic as he finishes off the curl cut. Hervey, shot rims out. Yeah, Dankovic is waiting for Velickovic to roll to the basket here. His progress impeded. So here's the screen. Crawford's just trying to fight through that screen. Gets called for some illegal contact, so sideline out of bounds here for Partizan. Jaramaz kicks. And the foul count starting to increase. 4th team foul, I think, on Lokomotiv. It is. Reggie Lynch with his first personal. Here's Jaramaz now, rides the high screen. He's made 1 3 already. Velickovic lets fly, and that's as pure as you like. Velickovic with 5. And this is exactly what Partizan need to stay in touch here in this opening quarter. And now we've got a foul here. It's on Lynch. That's his second as he sets an illegal screen. That horn might just signal his departure. Doesn't quite get set. It's really about the ball carrier there. You know, Kalnietis goes a little bit too soon, and coaches often talk about it's better to be a step too late on a screen than a step too early. Kalnietis is a veteran. He just needs to let the screen settle, establish position, and then make his move. It's all very easy to say here in the commentary booth. Nice dribble drive by Jaramaz, and the scoop and score is good. Now Partizan have got themselves right back in this one, having faced an 8-point deficit. They're now to within 1. Crawford trying to find some space on the wing. Good ball movement. Kalnietis exchanges with Hervey, who gets it off right at the death of the shot clock. Great patience by Kuban. And Hervey knocks down a 3. Velickovic, will it count? So it won't drop. Right now, Velickovic becoming more influential in this one. You can see Drew Gordon talking to the French referee along the baseline. wry smile here from Gordon. He says, I'm not moving. Just a little bit. Maybe he shuffles his feet just a little bit. Of course, the laws of the game really favor the offensive player. For Drew Gordon, it's a rude welcome back. His first action in the game, and he gets his name in the scorebook for a foul. Gordon played here for Partizan just one season, 2012 to 2013. Veličković knocks down both free throws. Been with the club since 2017. The thing with Kalnietis now, with Kalnietis in the game at the same time as Cummings, he allows Cummings to play the off guard. Oh, nice. Oh, great work by Cummings. But Drew Gordon swallowed up defensively. Great defense by Partizan as they look to break. Page pulls the trigger on a three, just off the mark. Well, that would have put Partizan up for the first time this quarter. Williams Goss now gets his first touch. Another player who wore the colors of Partizan. He played here between 2017 and 2018, and good defense by the hosts. Jaramaz inside to Mosley. The pass ahead on the turnover. Kalnietis with the score. Those are the worst turnovers to give up. It's one thing if the ball goes out of bounds. It's quite another if you turn it over and it leads to an easy two for your opponents. Right now, Partizan with 5 turnovers. Goss gets to the halo, little baby jump shot, just short. We've got a foul here. I'm not sure if it's on Hervey or Veličković. Let's see if we can sort it out here. So Goss just left it short. It's Hervey and Mosley competing for the rebound. Both coaches now into their rotations. So the foul on Partizan. Kuban will retain possession onto their own basket. And they'll promptly turn it right back over. Vladislav Amchenko with the traveling violation. Just a young player, 21 years of age. He's featured for Russia in the national team program at the under-20 level. Ignominious introduction to this game with the travel violation. High pass to Mosley, off the window, no good. And great work on the offensive glass by Rayshawn Thomas. Well, these are the hustle plays that you need to manufacture points. And Lokomotiv Kuban, the best rebounding team in the game, with over 40 rebounds a game. They gave up an offensive put back there. There's Gordon in the mid post. Pass just off the mark for Kalnietis. Yeah, Kalnietis' shot is wayward. Page, let's fly. Marcus Page 0 for 2 from behind the rainbow here in the opening quarter. Just inside 2 minutes to play. As Kuban get to the horn set. Williams Goss. Williams Goss with a show and go. And it's off the window and good. Marcus Page buys on the head and shoulders fake. Here's the head and shoulders fake. Page goes by. And then Goss. Up and in. If it's on Page, it's his second. As Goss converts the three-point play. William Mosley commits the foul. So Page just with his one, and then Looks like Williams Goss comes back and just commits a holding foul as he's trying to jam a cutter. Saso Filipovski, the coach of Partizan Belgrade, two-time Polish League Coach of the Year from 07 to 08. And he has some experience with Kuban. He was the first coach of Lokomotiv Kuban when they moved to Krasnodar in 2009. So lots of connections between these two teams. Goss across the midcourt stripe. Kuzminskis shows his hands in the paint, doesn't get it. Very static here offensively from Kuban. Coming, step back three, no good. And the air ball is a shot clock violation. So Kuban with turnover issues of their own. They have 4. Partizan with 5. We're inside a minute to play here in the opening frame. Here's the question always, where do the points come from when you get to your second 5? Great defense by Cummings. And Thomas answers, well, that's where they're gonna come from. Just get the rock to me, says Rayshawn Thomas. Shot clock rolling down. And he gets it up and in. Cummings bottled up in the corner, moves it on to Emchenko. Emchenko coughs it up and then fights to get it back. Well, good defensive intensity of Partizan, but I think it's Perkins who commits the foul. He's pleading to the French referee. There's a lot of basketball there from, yeah, there's a hold. So it's clean strip from Thomas. And Thomas had his eyes the size of silver dollars as he was running down the floor, lining up the dunk, but Partizan couldn't get a firm grip on the basketball, and so Emchenko toes the line. It's just a silly foul from Partizan's point of view. They want to try and manufacture the last shot here. And maybe some play acting by the Russian player. You can see Josh Perkins is just having a word with the lead official, but he's going to have to be careful now. He's been warned. It is frustrating for Perkins. There's not a lot of contact, and the Kuban player goes to the ground very easily. It's Motovilov who drew the foul, brings it in out of bounds. Here's Cummings. Kuzminskis probes his floater! Oh, the stuff by Drew Gordon! Kuzminskis threw it up, and Gordon sends it down. And Rayshawn Thomas comes right back. Well, what an electric finish to the opening quarter here in Belgrade. It's Gordon on one end and Thomas on the other. So Kuzminskis with the floater. Gordon rises to make sure of the stuff. And then all credit to Partizan, who come right back in the other direction. And Rayshawn Thomas with a mid-range jump shot to bring the first quarter to a close. Well, what an electric finish to the opening 10 minutes as the game really came to life. Here's your score at the end of the first quarter. It is Partizan Belgrade 22, Lokomotiv Kuban 24. Well, I need to catch my breath here after what was just scintillating play. Kuzminskas gets in the lane, the floater. It might have fallen on its own, but Gordon made sure he got his name in the scorebook. First quarter highlights here in the 6th meeting between former EuroLeague champions Partizan and former EuroCup champions Lokomotiv Kuban. Jaramaz with the first 3 for the hosts, but the offense was productive early for Kuban. They scored in their first 5 possessions. Partizan weathered the storm. They found themselves down 8 points at one stage, but showed their composure and hung in there. Little offense, instant offense here by Thomas, who finished with 6 points. And this game perfectly poised after the opening 10 minutes. It's the turnover totals down at the bottom of your page, which will draw the ire of both coaches. Coaches don't like turnovers at all, full stop. They want to minimize them. Every team has its own standards. Most teams kind of work with, 12 as an acceptable level of turnovers. Just as a reminder, the last time these two teams played, which was exactly a week ago, Partizan had 18 turnovers in Krasnodar. They lost by 7. Now, start the second quarter. Kuban with the first possession. Gordon trying to dislodge Jankovic. Draws the foul. Nikola Jankovic with the foul. Dug in really well. He walled up, but looks like it's not in the act of shooting. He can use his right arm bar as long as it stays inside the cylinder of his body. Referees have got him for a foul. So hard to guard in the low post. Cummings shimmies along the baseline and scores. I beg your pardon, it's Crawford. Shimmies along the baseline, little spin. Gets to the rim and finishes. Exciting finish by Jordan Crawford. Averages over 16 points per game. He's amongst the top scorers in the EuroCup this season. He misses the N1. You can see Coach Partizan just shouting at his players to hang on to the ball. Here's Hervey on the baseline. His shot no good. You can see how active Kuban are as they search for offensive rebounds. Good transition. Oh my goodness, 2 players went from the same ball. Another turnover for Partizan. And Gordon heaps on the misery. Well, this will bring a timeout from Coach Filipkovic. And Partizan came down the floor and looked like to have a certain score. Lack of communication leads to this basket. Watch this, the pass from Thomas, and 2 players both competing for it. Crawford doesn't stand on ceremony. He comes back the other way and turns it into a bucket for Kuban, who lead by 6 here at the timeout. Well, 4-point turnover there. Just a lack of communication. Looked like an easy 2, a sure 2 for Partizan. Rade Zagorac couldn't grab it. And then Kuban came right back the other way. Well, Kuban won this title back in 2013. Matas Kalnietis was with the club. He's in his 2nd stint with the club. Kalnietis has played 11 EuroLeague seasons with clubs the likes of Olimpia Milano, Asvel. Also had some EuroLeague action with Kuban. But also part of that roster. We see a foul here from Motovilov. That 2013 local Kuban team that lifted the crown in the EuroCup included Nick Kaletis, playing for Barcelona in the EuroLeague now. Of course, so many years with Panathinaikos, and Sergei Bykov. Bykov was a Russian international. Played in the 2010 World Cup. Three ball on the way, and it's off the mark from Perkins. Left that one short. So Partizan extensive pressure up the floor as the two guards look to trap. Crawford from the elbow. Yeah, just as cool as you like. Crawford just gets a little rub from the screen and curls to receive the ball at the elbow. And Crawford now with 9. Here's Cummings on the sideline. Finds the hot hand. Crawford. Shot hits the heel of the rim. And Partizan now look to break. Jaramaz back in the game. Streaking down the floor. Can't get it. 3 on the way. The transition 3, no good. Both teams with an opportunity to score come away with nothing. As Cummings looks to change the tempo and slow things down. Turnover here for Kuban. I'm just looking at the league's top scorers so far this season. Eric Green, 21 points per game. Some gaudy numbers here. Jaka Blažić, 18.8, the Slovenian international. Danilo Andjusic, 18 points per game. So Gordon with 16.5. Not even in the top 5, as we got a turnover violation here. Zagorac, and he's going to get a tap on the shoulder from a teammate. He knows he's going to walk straight into the coach's doghouse. So just lost his footing as he tries to ward off the defender, and now he's in all kinds of trouble. And then travels. Well, he'll be in the doghouse for a little while. Gordon trying to establish position. Mosley bodies him out. Cummings, stop and pop. In and out. So active on the backboard are the Kuban players. If they can't get it, they tip it, keep it alive. Jaramaz with a crossover, and he's stripped by Cummings. Cummings is claiming the ball. Went off of Jaramaz's knee. Can we see it? There's the strip. I'm not sure. And the referees have conferred, so good refereeing. The player's reaction suggests that there's probably some truth to it. Not just Cummings, but a couple of Krasnodar players appealing. And so now Kuban with a chance to extend their lead to the largest of the game. They've led by 8 early in the first quarter. Motovilov, the drive is good. Well, Thomas had the hot hand in the first quarter. Gets it back from Jaramaz. Wants to face. Yeah, skilled move by Rayshawn Thomas. Just went eyeball to eyeball with his defender. Knocks down the jump shot. Cummings strings it. Will Cummings. Can't leave him alone. Thomas. Well, he just went to work in the low post. Couple of crab dribbles just to get, there's 1, 2, gets to the halo. And a touch foul here by, I think it's on Hervey, but with Gordon coming out, let's take a look on the official tracker. It is, the foul is on Kevin Hervey, his second. Free throw left on the table by Thomas. Cummings spins on Jaramaz, and his shot just won't fall. Well, Cummings taking a leaf out of Jordan Crawford's book. Yeah, fouls there. Jaramaz really can't complain about that. But it's before the act of shooting, according to the referee, so it's end line out of bounds. Here's Crawford. Just right in the grill of Dangovic. It's all about timing. Marcus Page back in for Partizan. Jaramaz shares it with Dangovic. Little bounce pass, and a great steal by Hervey. The pass ahead, it's a 2-on-1. But Crawford just can't get the handle. Motovilov in the center circle. Gets to the right hand. Foul by Marcus Page. Can we see the reach here? It might actually be on Thomas. It might be on Thomas. Rayshawn Thomas with 10 points. Our official scores. Yes, the foul was on Thomas. That is his first. And now Partizan looking down the barrel of a 14-point deficit as we pass the midway mark of the second quarter. Page skips through the lane. Dangovic probes. His runner, no good. The tip attempt, no good. When does Veličković come back into the ball game for Partizan? Sideline break. Motovilov got his own miss and just couldn't convert. You love the energy of Motovilov, just lacked a bit of composure. Jaramaz calls the half-court set. Little horn set here as he comes off the first screen. Yeah, great penetration by Ognjen Jaramaz. Opens up an easy score for Rayshawn Thomas for 12. But Jaramaz really conjuring up the scoring opportunity. Kalniak just gets caught for a travel. You can't believe it. Here's Page. Can he find his touch? That's way off the mark. And Thomas commits his second. It is team fouls against Partizan, so Hervey will walk the distance to get to the stripe. You love the transition D of Thomas, but you know, coaches will tell you, beat a man to a spot, make him turn. Don't run alongside of him. Veličković back in for Partizan. So Thomas leading the hosts with 12 points. Veličković with 9. And Kuban, Jordan Crawford with 12. And then a committee of players, 5 or 6. Kevin Hervey here with 7. We've got subs coming in. Kush Pashtutin been very composed so far. His team at times have been dominant. They've controlled this game throughout. Led by 8 in the first quarter, but Partizan clawed that back to 2. Veličković trying to make something happen. Spins this way, spins that way. And his baseline jump shot just short. Yeah, Williams-Goss uses his body so well, so rugged, and gets in the paint for the easy 2. And Partizan now facing a 16-point deficit as Coach Veličković calls a timeout to talk this thing through as he tries to manage the rest of the second quarter. But Lokomotiv Kuban with a commanding 16-point lead here at the timeout. Well, fans, just as this competition starts to shape up, get into the business phase. You see the box score here. Thomas with 12 to lead Partizan. Crawford with 12 to lead the visitors. You see the rebounding and the assists total. Well, we've got 4 groups of 4 here in the top 16 phase. Remember, the top 2 teams in each group will advance to the playoffs, so the quarterfinals. Group E right now, Badalona at the top with a 3-0 record. Group F, our group, Metropolitans 92. Top of the group. Group G, Virtus Bologna, led by Milos Teodosic, and they just had a huge signing with Bellinelli. So what a backcourt that is. And then Group H, led by Russian club Unix Kazan, who've got a perfect 3-0 record so far. Dangovic to Page. Page, yeah, great. Ah, what a block! What a block inside! Kuzminskis probably gets a touch there. It's Reggie Lynch with the block. And Kuzminskis gets his name in the scorebook, does he, or is it Lynch? And a moving screen here. Well, Partizan are really up against it. They really have to look at the next 2.5 minutes as just damage limitation. You want to go into the changing room as we watch this. Reggie Lynch is going to rise, and he'll strip Veličković, who runs into a sea of white jerseys. And off go Lokomotiv Kuban the other way. Kalniet just wants the high ball screen. Imchenko kicks back to Kalnietis. His shot short. Partizan now. Dangovic kicks. Imchenko with a reach. Kuban yet to get to the penalty. Just the 4th team foul on Lokomotiv Kuban. Page, deep 3, finally found the bottom. Marcus Page gets on the scoreboard from distance. Page, 1 of 5 from behind the rainbow, and that one comes at a great time. As Partizan commit another foul here to send the shooter to the line. Jankovic just trying to impede the progress of Kuzminskis, and referees trying to clean up the game of basketball. A couple of years ago, they want cutters to be able to get through the lane. You know, typically coaches teach jam cutters. Make a cutter hit you and have to change direction, go another way, which buys the defense a bit of time. Takes a cutter away from a spot that you might want to occupy. So, of course, it bogs down the game. And Partizan come back with something else. Trying to find space for Page. Page! Well, he's in a little rhythm now. Back-to-back threes by Marcus Page. And Coach Pastutin wants to say, hey, fellas, who's guarding number 5? Page just rides the screen here. Then knocks down a 3, almost the exact same spot as the last one. And the left-handed American with a much-needed basket for Partizan. Can they get the deficit down to 10 before halftime? Right now, they trail by 14. Well, that Lokomotiv Kuban team who advanced to the EuroLeague Final Four in 2016. What a lineup they had. Anthony Randolph on that club. Of course, playing for Real Madrid last few seasons. Malcolm Delaney, presently with a Milan team that are starting to gather momentum in the EuroLeague. Kuban got to the Final Four in Berlin in 2016. Came away with nothing. Nice pass. That was a good pass to Reggie Lynch, but his pass didn't find its mark. Can Partizan turn this turnover into points? There's Jaramaz. Oh, he found Page, of course. That's the first guy you look for. He's made 2 jump shots. Last 2 trips down the floor. Veličković has made 1 from there. That one's no good. And good work by Jankovic, who wants to bump and grind. Jankovic, well, great. Hard hat work by Nikola Jankovic. Gets the offensive rebound and then has the patience and composure to back down his defender. And draws the foul here on Drew Gordon. Well, this is what you want when you're chasing the game. Can you get to the line and put points on the board while the clock is stopped? Of course, you got to make your free throws. Can Jankovic come away with 1? Missed them both. Veličković with a rebound. Reverse layup won't go. And again, Jankovic with an offensive rebound. Well, right now, Partizan really imposing themselves physically on the best rebounding team in the competition. First, it was Veličković. Again, it's Jankovic. And Jankovic gets another trip to the line to see if he can claw back some of this deficit. The foul there on Ilnitsky. Stanislav Ilnitsky. And that one, as good as you like. Jankovic steps away from the free throw line. Usually when shooters make a free throw, they hold their spot. When you miss, you sometimes step away and regroup, regather, refocus. And Jankovic goes 1 of 4. down the line. Each team now should get a possession here as we wind down the first half. Here's Cummings between the circles. Got to make something happen. Cummings to the glass, no good. Kuzminskis had the offensive rebound, dispossessed by Veličković. Finds a guard, and Jaramaz slows it down. Jaramaz wants the isolation here against Gordon. Cummings in a help position. Page the shooter on the sideline. Jaramaz found some space and rims out. Well, Jaramaz had a clean look, just couldn't convert it. And at the end of 20 minutes of play, Lokomotiv Kuban with a comfortable double-digit lead as both teams will head into the halftime changing rooms and try to regroup. Here's your score at halftime. Partizan Belgrade 35, Lokomotiv Kuban 48. Well, first half highlights in the 6th ever meeting on the European stage between Partizan and Lokomotiv Kuban. Partizan lifted the EuroLeague crown in 1992, Kuban the EuroCup crown in 2013. And these two teams were desperate for a win here in Group F of the top 16. Pretty even after the first quarter, just 2 points in it. But in the second quarter, Kuban really stamped their authority on this one. They led by 16 at one stage. And Partizan just trying to stay in the game. There's still plenty of time in this one. Let's take a look at some of the distribution of scorers. Partizan led in scoring by Rayshawn Thomas with 12. Novica Veličković with 9 points. As for Kuban, 12 points from Jordan Crawford. Just looking at assist totals, we have assists. Yeah, 10 assists for Kuban in the opening half. Well, there's your score and your numbers. The most important, the two across the top. Kuban with a comfortable 13-point differential going into the changing rooms. They are pressing their advantage. They're +7 on the backboard.
That's brilliant. Ryan Brown, the grateful recipient of the alley-up.
Gets it in. Tough shot, gets it to go just before the buzzer. Jamal Smith had a little bit of space and he made it count.
Goodwin on the injection of pace. Oh, rejected by Williams.
Ivanovic throws up the alley-oop and jammed in. Good pass. And Willie Reed on the end of it. Well, we've not had too many assists in the game so far, but that was a good one.
Dimitrovic off the glass, perhaps. Well, O'Brien had to stretch for the loose ball, but he got it. Rob Gray finds an open play inside for Lesour. That's wonderful fast break play from AS Monaco. The ball was down the other end in the blink of an eye. Great play.
Turnover. Throw down. And the foul.
Warren, nice work inside. Almost a spectacular lob to Kuban, but they couldn't connect. And now it's the other way. Sosa throwing it down.
much difference as it was at half-time. Strong start from Warner Bar. Lovely pass inside! The alley-oop from Morgan. Jordan says, there you go! And the other Jordan says, thank you very much.
Chance here now for Metropolitans to get their biggest lead of the night. Goodwin drives down that right channel, back out it comes for Ruse, the three-pointer, rattles out, but the putback is by Michelot, and it is a 6-point game. And it comes, a shot from Brown. Oh! The Czechs hit it! Can you believe it? Anthony Brown, I think, has taken us to overtime. That is outrageous from Brown.
Blazic drains one from downtown. Blazic driving to the glass. Jaka Blazic drains another three. Not for the first time tonight, driving all the way. Blazic finding Miguel Hopkins. Beautifully done by Blazic. It's another Jaka cracker. Lovely pass behind his back to Rupnik in space. Here's Blazic. Oh, fantastic fake pass into the path of Miguel Hopkins. What a performance this is from Jaka Blazic.
Welcome back to halftime here between Partizan and Lokomotiv Kuban. I always love to see the halftime show. It gets you in the right temperament for the action to resume. And the live images, we show you the numbers which explain the first half. At times, Lokomotiv Kuban were just too strong for Partizan. They clawed their way back from an 8-point deficit in the first quarter to draw within 2 at the end of the quarter. Right now, they find themselves down 13 as we go courtside.
Difference in second quarter. Can you continue like that?
I think we can go kind of make some adjustments and play better defense. I think we'll be good.
Thank you.
Well, thoughts there of Kevin Hervey from the visitors, Kuban. Hervey with 7 points at halftime.
Rayshawn, bad second quarter. Can you solve your problems?
Yeah, I think we can. We made a lot of mistakes. We missed a lot of easy ones. I think if we can just clean up on that, then we'll be in pretty good shape.
Thank you.
Thank
you. Thoughts there of Rayshawn Thomas. 12 points, the leading scorer at halftime for Partizan. Get a look here at the leaders in the various categories. So it's Crawford and Thomas, and both of them doing most of their scoring in the first quarter. Were held quiet in the second. William Mosley with 6 rebounds for Partizan, and Ognjen Jaramaz with 4 assists. It's the turnover total which has been a problem for Partizan. They have 11 turnovers at halftime. That's a total that you would be proud of at the end of a game, and not so proud of at halftime. As for Kuban, they have 7 turnovers at halftime, so that's pretty much where you want to be. Remember, these two teams met exactly a week ago in Krasnodar, southern Russia. Lokomotiv Kuban won by 7, so not only do Partizan want to win this game, but they'd like to win by a points differential of +8, so they'll have any sort of tiebreaker advantage. Remember, there are 4 teams in the group. We are in Group F, and the top 2 teams advance to the next stage of the competition.
Coach, you have solid lead. Do you expect some response from Partizan?
Yeah, we start with the defensive oriented. We control the shooters, and only last 2 minutes let this open shot, and plus we have to stop the Thomas low block and control the more offensive Partizan offensive rebound, our defensive rebound. And today we control the also game offensively. We have to continue that way to be focused 20 minutes and to do maximum to win the game.
Thank you.
Yeah, Partizan had 5 offensive rebounds. Coaches want to minimize those opportunities to score. You see the distribution of fouls, so it's Kevin Hervey with the 3 fouls, the only player really to worry about if you are Kuban. Everyone else with 2 or fewer fouls. We'll hope to get the thoughts of Coach Filipkovic at some stage as he comes out of the halftime changing room. I beg your pardon, Filipkovsky will try to get his sentiments about what his team need to do to get back in the game. This 13 points is plenty of time for Partizan. We'll talk to Coach now.
Coach, it seemed that you had difficulties on both sides of the court. Can you fix that?
Yes, we had difficulties defensively. We received too many points. We had problems with their one-on-one game. We received few baskets the last 5 seconds when they play long offense, so we allow these 3-pointers, easy 3-pointers of Crawford and his points from the spot. So we need to change our defensive side. On offense, we need to play more brave. We must attack more brave, and ball must move.
Thank you.
Well, Coach Filipkovsky just talking about what he needs to do defensively. He's right. His team have given up 48 points at halftime. That's too many. Admittedly, Kuban, the most offensively potent team in the competition this year. They average 88 points per game, so they're pretty much right on their average, slightly above. You got to try to minimize what they do. You know, Jordan Crawford, their leading scorer, a couple of open looks. You want to try and get teams out of their tendency. So what do they do well? Ask other questions of them. Make somebody do something different. So we'll see how Partizan come out defensively to start the second half. I always find these first 3 minutes to start the second half a critical passage in the game. It's about sending a message to your opponent, setting some tempo. A bright start, really, what both clubs will want. For Partizan, it's about manufacturing the deficit. You know, you're down 13. You're not going to get that back in 1 or 2 possessions. That's going to be a time. And so mentally, you have to say, we need to stop half-court sets. Coaches sometimes talk about what they call a kill. You know, can we get 3 stops in a row? Just break the game down into a couple of manageable possessions. Okay, can we get those 3 stops in a row and maybe score 2 of those 3 times? Every coach wants to minimize transition. So certainly things to think about here for the Partizan players. We'll We'll see how the coaches manage their benches too. Always in the first half, coaches want to get players involved, get them into the rhythm of the game, manage minutes, especially for your veterans. Give them a break in the first half and then maybe extend their play in the second half. Crawford will be up for that. Coach, keep me in the ball game. I got 12 at halftime. Well, if you're just joining us here at halftime, a very warm welcome to you. Welcome to Belgrade. We're at the Ranko Zaravica Sports Hall, just one of the venues where Partizan play their games. They also play at the Alexander Nikolic Arena and the Stark Arena, the new arena in the capital of Serbia. It is Lokomotiv Kuban in the white uniforms and Partizan in their trademark black and white. Great bullet pass. What a pass by Kalnietis. Hervey gets on the end of it, but it was the vision of the Lithuanian which opens up the easy flush for Hervey. Just a picture-perfect start for Kuban. I'm trying to look for the right words. It's less than, certainly less than picture perfect for Partizan as they start with a turnover. Cummings finds Hervey in the corner. Shot no good. Long rebound and a break ahead. Well, great fast break basketball by Partizan. Thomas got out and ran his lane quick. And you love this fast break. It's an outlet pass and a cross-court pass, and the ball doesn't even hit the floor. It's fundamental fast break basketball. Kalnietis' shot rattles the rim. Three ball, no good. Kuban come the other way. It's Zagarats with the miss. Zagarats does enough defensively to tip the shot of Cummings. Ognjen Jaramaz with a three right in front of Coach Pashtutin. And Partizan with a good start. Foul here on Partizan holding. Nice pass. Lynch. What a good work by Hervey to keep it alive. And Jordan's three's in and out. You can hear the whistle of Coach Filipovsky just calling the offense. Page. Pass inside. Poor Mika just couldn't handle it. It's like a bar of soap in there. Eric Mika just couldn't get two hands on it. His first action in the game. Hervey. His shot hits the heel of the rim. Long rebound to the hands of Jaramaz. Thomas again gets out quick. Thomas lost the handle, but with the second effort puts it up and in. And Partizan have come out, and they've reduced a 13-point deficit to 8. Good concentration here by Rayshawn Thomas. And Coach Pashtutin wants to take a timeout to calm down the troops and talk about the minutes ahead. Well, Partizan showing an appetite to get out and run in transition. Thomas got out twice in his lanes. They came up with 4 points. Fast break set in motion by the outlet pass. The most important pass in transition is that first pass. longer and quicker the outlet pass, the more productive you can be on a break. There's Thomas. 16 points now. And we'll see what Coach Pastutin came up with offensively here. The measure of a good timeout offensively is, can you come out and get a good offensive look? So Partizan stay in man-to-man defense. They don't change their defense at all. Both teams have been straight man throughout. You can see that Malaga and Nanterre score. And we're going to charge here. If it's on Hervey. So Hervey's going to step through, and Mika just puts his body on the line for Kevin Hervey. This could be his fourth. Let me just confirm this for you. It is his fourth, so Hervey will get some pine time and he'll go on ice. Good hard-nosed basketball by Eric Mika, who's trying to win some minutes. Didn't play in the first half. Exactly what coach wants. Give me some energy in the second half. Page, shot no good. Offensive rebound inside. Looks to be on Crawford, the foul. So after really good productivity in the first half. Yeah, you can see Crawford just trying to seal off. There's not a lot in that, to be honest. Here's Jaramaz. He's fouled. So Kuban losing their foul discipline here. It's their third team foul. It's on Motovilov. And Partizan. Crawford here. Pass. And the three just rims out. It's a deep three by Zagorac, but he couldn't knock it down. Little side to side. Screen and roll action. Now Jordan. Crawford with the ball. Gonna try and make something happen on the dribble. No good. Shot and air ball into the hands of Jaramaz. Jaramaz, well, it's a reaching foul here. Cummins can't believe it. Well, Cummins will feel like he got a lot of the ball there, and he did, but referees call that a reach. Sometimes you get those calls, sometimes you don't. Jaramaz keeps his dribble alive. Thomas. Found an avenue to the basket. And right now, Rayshawn Thomas is playing like a man possessed. Thomas with 18. And at the midway mark here of the third quarter, the hosts have the deficit they faced at halftime. Now, Partizan look to break quickly. And Eric Mika just telegraphed his pass. Motovilov lays it up and in. Well, Eric Mika just lost his focus there. And good defense by Motovilov as he shot the passing lane. That'll help Kuban settle a little bit here. Ragorac steps inside the three-point line. And Gordon with a pushing foul. Now, Gordon was in a spot of bother in terms of fouls in the first half. It is physical inside. And so Gordon pushes Eric Mika. Might have helped things out a little bit. So Gordon will check back out again. He has 3 personals. As you see, Reggie Lynch. And the team fouls sends Eric Mika to the stripe. Mika in his second EuroCup season. He's from Boston, Massachusetts originally. Previous action was in 2018-2019 with Brescia Leonessa. American nets both free throws. Now Jaramaz with some determined ball pressure on Motovilov. Cummings on the wing. Cummings! Yeah, an offensive foul called against Will Cummings as he pushes off with the right hand. Good on-the-ball defense by Marcus Page, and right now, Kuban facing a bit of adversity. Cummings knew he did it, he just walked away on the whistle. Watch this, the right hand steps in front and pushes off Marcus Page. Showing really good on-the-ball defense. And Partizan got themselves back in the game. So Coach Pastutin rolling the dice a little bit as he brings in Kevin Hervey with his 4 fouls. Will Partizan attack Hervey? He's guarding Thomas, the man with the hot hand. Jaramaz through the lane, no good. The tip, no good. Well, you wonder why Partizan don't put Thomas down in the box and throw it into him, because Hervey has to be soft defensively. Good composure here by Kuban. There's no hurry. Try to stem the tide of momentum. Williams-Goss shot rims out, and Partizan look to break. Now again, do they try to get the ball to Thomas here? Here's Thomas. He's gonna go at Hervey. Shot's no good, and Eric Mika has come in and got another offensive rebound. Jaramaz's shot, no good. Cummings' pass, broken up. Page wants it in the corner. I'll tell you, both teams are active defensively. There's a tip from behind by Will Cummings. And the turnover totals starting to mount. It's 15 turnovers for Partizan. Zagorac with the defensive foul here. So Perkins comes in to spell Eric Mika, who provided some real positive minutes. I don't see anything in that. As Kuzminskis is just trying to establish position. Crawford, baseline jump shot. Just won't drop for him. And Crawford, who was prolific in the first half, struggling here in the second. Mika in the lane, glides through and lays it up and in. Eric Mika lays it up and in. Off the high screen and roll. What was I thinking? Mika stays on the floor. Coach Velikovsky leaves him in the ball game. Yeah, good high-low action into Kuzminskis. Well, it's really good recognition by Lynch. He knew Kuzminskis had a smaller man on him, fronting him in the low post, and Lynch just flashes into the free throw line and just feathers a pass down to Kuzminskis. But active hands by Partizan. Kuzminskis couldn't quite grab it for the easy 2. Crawford now wants to take Mika on the bounce. Rises and got it. Well, that might help get Jordan Crawford going. First basket of the second half. Into Mika. Little push shot, good by the American from the dots. He's arguably the man of the third quarter here. Partizan draw to within 4. We've got a timeout here from the referees. We've got, I think, something on the floor. Yeah, just where the volleyball posts go in. Remember, fans, this arena graced by Vlade Divac, Sasha Djordjevic, Serbian basketball legends. Divac playing in the NBA towards the end of his career. Nice pass inside! And Reggie Lynch with the step-through finish. Great pass by Cummings. And Lynch just steps through, lays it up and in. I always find 8's kind of the operative number. You know, can you keep the lead around 8 to 10? That's comfortable. The nerves don't jangle. Once you get under 8, things get a little bit nervy. And so Partizan, who led by 13 at half, find themselves up just 2 possessions here with a 6-point difference. Page exchanges. 3 ball, no good. That's Perkins with the miss. Crawford hung in the air, won't go. Now it's 5-on-4 opportunity here for Partizan. Page, extra pass to the corner. And Mika! Well, Eric Mika, give him a medal. He's been nothing short of outstanding this quarter for Partizan. He's gonna go inside and do the dirty work. The miss by Zagorac and Mika. Just doing exactly what you want, tips it to himself and puts it up and in. Didn't play a minute in the first half. And Eric Mika gets some love from his teammates. Look at this, Partizan have got themselves right back in this. 4 points separate the 2 teams. Partizan trailed by 13 at halftime. We're just looking at the quarter scores. So first quarter was 24-22. Kuban with a 2-point lead, and then they turned the screw in the second quarter. Lokomotiv Kuban won the second quarter 24-13. Partizan just trying to flip that around. Right now they're up 17-8. And line ball here for Kuban. Partizan shows some passive man pressure up the floor. Crawford signs a bounce pass inside. The jump hook, no good. Kevin Hervey with the acrobatic putback. It won't go. And Partizan managed to hang on to it. Remember Hervey with the 4 fouls. Just can't get the reverse layup to go. And touches it last. Marcus Page will come out as Ognjen Jaramaz comes in. I think Page needs to go see the physio. Looks like a prize fighter. He's going to get some contact from Gordon. Not sure if that's where the cut happened, but let's hope the physio could patch him back up. Jaramaz, yeah, it's just too intricate a pass. It's really too hard for Rayshawn Thomas to see that. And Jaramaz has got a little baby jump shot that he could have pulled up on. Again, I'm going to tell you, it's so easy. I think the ball's through the legs of Hervey. It's just so hard for Rayshawn Thomas to see that, let alone catch it. Well, Gordon got away with the travel. Couldn't convert inside. Eric Mika runs the floor. And he's stripped by Williams Goss. Perkins with the pass ahead. And good strong hands here by Williams Goss. Deep three on the way. Hits the heel of the rim from Jordan Crawford. Kept alive by Perkins. And now Partizan with a chance to get the last score here of the quarter. Shot clock turned off. Perkins wants the high ball screen. Doesn't get it. He's going to have to break down Kalnietis on his own. And his little jump shot inside, just short. So Perkins timed it to perfection, but just didn't make the old school shot out the window. And at the end of 3 quarters of play, this game perfectly poised. What a comeback by Partizan. Partizan Belgrade 52, Lokomotiv Kuban 56. Well, third quarter highlights here in the 6th ever meeting on the European stage between Lokomotiv Kuban, the visitors, and Partizan Belgrade. In this quarter, all about Partizan. They trailed by 13 to commence the quarter, and they've got themselves to within 4 points. Good steal here by Motovilov, who lays it up and in. Probably the only error that Eric Mika made. He was nothing short of excellent throughout the whole third quarter. Mika played all 10 minutes, and you wonder what's he got left in the tank. Rayshawn Thomas pacing Partizan with 18 points. Novica Velichkovic, 9. And you can see the battle of the boards very close. You know, Partizan holding their own against the best rebounding team in the league this year. Kuban led in scoring by Jordan Crawford, 14 points. There's Crawford, just had 2 points that quarter. Reggie Lynch with 8, Kevin Hervey with 9. Hervey, number 5, right there in the white, has the 4 fouls, so slightly handicapped in what he can do. You can see Coach Pashtutin there, and Coach Pashtutin just behind Drew Gordon. He's got that Marine Corps drill instructor haircut. He's a very, very good player in his own right. Represented his native Russia. 1994 World Cup. Was on the Russian team that took a silver medal. 1997 in the European Championships, Eurobasket. Lifted a bronze medal. 2-time EuroCup champion as a coach. A 2-time EuroLeague champion as an assistant coach with CSKA. He speaks with some authority when he talks to the players. Perkins spins. Yeah, just a little bit over elaborate from Josh Perkins. Pass is too strong and too high for Ognjen Jaramaz. Deep 3 from Cummings. Rattles the iron. Hervey with the offensive rebound, the stick back. Good work by Kevin Hervey. Hervey with 11 points and 10 rebounds. So we've got him for a double-double unofficially. We'll keep an eye on that as the game progresses. Yeah, there it is. So it's 11 points and 10 rebounds for Kevin Hervey. He's playing now with 4 fouls. Thomas showing he can shoot the ball as well. Most of his points are coming on dribble drives. A little step back action to create some separation. Well, this is a statistician's nightmare because it's definitely a turnover. I think it's definitely a turnover against Kuban, and all Rayshawn Thomas has to do is pick that up and lay it in, but he kicks it, so nobody will be happier than Mantas Kalnietis, who lost it at half court. And sometimes, you know, when you're chasing the game from behind, it's just so energy sapping and so concentration draining that little things like that elude your grasp. Crawford in the lane. Well, Crawford with a little bit of English on that one as he gets and knifes through the Partizan defense. Thomas hands off to Page, gets it back. Good action, really good action between Thomas and Page on the screen and roll. They come away with nothing, but it's good positive play for Partizan. Hervey from the corner, that's no good. And Page skies for the rebound. Here's Jaramaz on the far side in space, it's no good. Long rebound into the hands of Will Thomas, and Jaramaz just a little slow to follow your shot. And you can see he's out of gas. At times, this game has had a frenetic tempo. So as soon as you release, you want to get and follow the shot. Coaches always want two players to get back defensively in transition. That's usually the two at the top of your offensive set. But shooters, as a rule of thumb, you want shooters to follow their shots because they see it better than anybody else. And Jordan Crawford gets called for the travel. It's hard to tell. Crawford doesn't agree. Really good refereeing here as the official just explains the call to Jordan Crawford. Here's your score at the timeout. Belgrade 54, Lokomotiv Kuban 60. Well, we'll get a chance to take a look now at tonight's 7 days magic moment. Marcus Page, a little wraparound pass in the block. It's a good pass here by Page. An even better defensive play by Drew Gordon. No, it's Reggie Lynch with the block. There it is. He's telling his teammates all about it as well. Perfect timing by Lynch. A nifty feed from Marcus Page, but Partizan can come away with nothing on some stingy defense from Gordon. Perkins at the point for Partizan. Page steps back, thought about a three. He's going to get it back from Mosley. Pass intended for Mosley, but struck a foot of a Kuban player, so it'll be Partizan ball with a fresh 14 on the shot clock. Marcus Page averages 10. We've got to travel here. This one on Perkins, and he has a similar look to Jordan Crawford. He's probably looking for Jordan Crawford right now. Do we see it? I really don't. I think the left foot's the pivot foot. But when you wear the bright green sneakers, sometimes you're gonna get called for travels. Kalnietis to his countryman Kuzminskis. Kuzminskis lost the handle. Moves it on. And not heaving hope. Too strong. Good ball moving here by Partizan, but it's around the perimeter. Thomas drew the double team, couldn't find Mosley. Great defense by Motovilov. Both teams struggling here at the start of the fourth quarter. Yeah, good patience inside by Drew Gordon. He spins to the baseline and draws the foul. It's a good expression about being patient in the post. Gordon, little pivot to the baseline. And earns himself a trip to the line. Drew Gordon, a new signing with Kuban as they enter the top 16 phase of the competition. Remember, he played here for Partizan between 2012 and 2013. Gordon in his 5th EuroLeague season, I beg your pardon, EuroCup season. Action with Banvit in Turkey, Dinamo Sassari in Italy, Ritas Vilnius in Lithuania, and Zenit St. Petersburg. Plenty of stories to tell his grandchildren. There's Page, gets to the docks, kicks. Thomas, fouled by Kuzminskis, and Thomas will go to the line. So Kuzminskis is going to come out, and in comes Kevin Hervey. Remember, Hervey has the 4 fouls. Just 1 foul on Kuzminskis. Lithuania with 12 minutes of play tonight. Thomas misses the first free throw. Thomas in his 2nd EuroCup season from Oklahoma City, Oklahoma originally. Makes 1 of 2. Motovilov manages to retain possession as Marcus Page commits the foul. Yeah, good vision by Motovilov as he looks across and finds Gordon. So Jaramaz comes in to replace his countryman Dangovic. Gordon with 6 points tonight on 18 minutes. See 2 young and up-and-coming players there for Partizan. It is a club that has a reputation for developing talent. There's Perkins on the wing. Jaramaz on the opposite wing. Thomas kicks it. Jaramaz in the lane. His shot no good. Good hustle by Jaramaz, but he commits the foul. Yeah, gets in the lane here, and he's going to compete with Will Cummings for the foul. Let's hope that Cummings is okay. It's the advertising board, and you saw a grimace from Will Cummings, but Cummings played his collegiate basketball at Temple University. I tell you what, they grow up tough there. Legendary coach John Chaney used to have the players up at 5:30 in the morning for practice. Good discipline from Cummings, who attacks Jaramaz, but comes up with a miss. Perkins pulls up in transition, and a 3 here by Williams-Goss. And so Perkins will step to the line to throw it thrice. Well, Partizan have been knocking at the door to try to get their noses in front. And Perkins now with a chance to put 3 on the board here. Josh Perkins tonight. Three points, 4 points for Perkins on 14 minutes. Just his first EuroCup season. Perkins from Colorado originally, and he's in too early. So Perkins makes 2 of 3. Gordon kicks. Hervey trying to break down Thomas. Hervey lost the handle. Good defense by Thomas. Picks up the loose ball. Now Thomas to Jankovic. Ah, great poise by Jankovic. He pauses momentarily to let Gordon fly by and makes the transition basket. Well, Partizan have been here before. They're within 4. Can they get their noses in front with a stop here? Can Kuban keep their composure and get a timely basket? Gordon trying to post up. Motovilov, his shot blocked. And Jankovic comes over to the sideline to get a high five. Jankovic just traces the ball here and sends it into the first row. Looks like Gordon's coming out. Motovilov is coming out. Crawford and Lynch to come back in for Coach Pastutin. Yeah, Cummings just lost track of the shot clock. And it's hard because he's in front of the opposition bench. You know, you just want a little word from a teammate. You know, you expect the guys on the bench. That's something that they usually do as a group. Stay in the game, call out the shot clock. But of course, they're on the far side of the floor, so Cummings didn't get any help. Perkins gets the high ball screen. Here's Thomas. Faces, got it. Rayshawn Thomas with 23. And Partizan are within 2. It's the closest that they have been since the first quarter. Alley-oop over the top to Reggie Lynch, who lays it up and in. Great vision by Kalnietis. Crawford trying to keep Jaramaz bottled up. Great defense by Jordan Crawford. Crawford baseline jump shot. Too strong. Perkins wants to walk things up. Perkins drops it inside for Jankovic. His jump hook is in and out. The left-handed jump hook by Jankovic hit all sides of the rim, just wouldn't fall. Less than 3 to play here. Hervey, let's fly. That's short. Long pass ahead. Great defense by Kalnietis to break up the easy 2. And some jangled nerves here by both sets of players. Jaramaz wants to take control. Jankovic, who's played well. Page, mid-range jump shot, got it. And Partizan are back within 2. Do Partizan come back with Eric Mika, who is the player of the third quarter, no doubt? Or do they ride the 5 on the floor? Does Velicevic come back in? He's got a long jersey on the bench. Crawford. Crawford weaves. Crawford in the lane. Crawford drops a dime to Hervey, who lays it up and in with the 4 fouls. Well, Jordan Crawford finds an avenue to the paint. And watch this vision. Little sleight of hand to Hervey. who lays it up and in. Well, here's your score at the timeout. Partizan Belgrade 63, Lokomotiv Kuban 67, with just under 2 to play in the fourth quarter. Well, the second half has been outstanding by both clubs. You got to give credit to Partizan. They found themselves down 13 at the halftime intermission, but clawed back in it. They won the third quarter 17-8, and this quarter's been even. 11 points each. You know, Partizan, if they go on to lose this, we'll look back at the second quarter. They lost 24-13 in the second quarter. But there's no looking back right now. Got to look ahead to the next minute and 50. And try to figure out how to get a win for Kuban, who won a week ago when these two teams played in Krasnodar exactly a week ago. Got a 7-point advantage, so they'll want to win this game, though. They're not going to worry about points difference. They're going to want to win this. They are close to getting a precious road win. So Perkins across the midcourt stripe, guarded by Kalnietis. Page off a stagger screen. Jankovic in the middle, kicks to Jaramaz, who lets fly with a three. Got it! The troika from Ognjen Jaramaz! And there's just one in it. Kuban up a penny here. Cummings slashes to the basket. And he's dispossessed of the ball. The Partizan players are appealing for video replay. They think Cummings just lost the handle. Do we see it here? So Cummings sees a crease. Wow, Jaramaz reaches. I've seen those called before. The referees are going to confer here. So the referees are going to review this. It's a big, big call. Cummings found a little crease to try to penetrate to the basket. And Ognjen Jaramaz, I beg your pardon, steps in with a reach. I think Jaramaz got a touch, but did he get the last touch? Rayshawn Thomas with 23 points for Partizan to get them here. Jaramaz with 11. That big three, last trip down the floor for Lokomotiv Kuban. It's Kevin Hervey with 13 points and those 4 fouls. Reggie Lynch with 10 points. And Jordan Crawford with 16. He had 12 at halftime. Well, this game very, very much in the balance. Just a minute 30 to play here. Well, we're in the 19th edition, fans, of the 7 Days EuroCup. It is the second-tier basketball competition in Europe, owned and operated by EuroLeague. Let's see what the referees have to say here. They are going to reverse the decision, so Nikola Jankovic appeals. The referees have a look at the video, and Jaramaz will bring it out of bounds. Will Cummings, to be fair, good sportsmanship by Cummings, doesn't protest. Perkins now guarded closely by Motovilov. Lokomotiv Kuban with fouls to give still. Perkins trying to make the entry pass. And there's one of those fouls. Motovilov just managing the foul count. Lokomotiv Kuban still one more foul to give. Partizan are in the penalty. Well, it's jangled nerves time. Jankovic kicks, Perkins probes, Perkins from the free throw line, it's off the mark. And look at the hustle by Thomas. Oh, he just stepped out of bounds, but the desire by Rayshawn Thomas. Can't keep it alive. Good contest here between Thomas and Hervey. Both players get to the deck, but Thomas steps out of bounds. And Hervey's trying to find out the number of the truck that just hit him. On the floor for Kuban, Motovilov brings it in. Cummings, 15 points the last time these two teams met. Crawford, Lynch, and Hervey. Crawford, Crawford to Hervey for the flush. Great vision by Jordan Crawford. Another combination between Crawford and Hervey, and that makes the difference 3. Jaramaz, Jankovic combined. Page in the corner, gets it back from Perkins to tie the ball game. Got it! Josh Perkins knocks it up at 69 each. On a three-pointer from the wing, Perkins combines with Page, and Perkins knocks down a 3 to tie the ball game. What the game! The previous possession, it's Crawford to Hervey for the stuff. And down 3, Partizan come back to knot it up at 69 each. What the ball game here in Belgrade. We are in the Ranko Zanovica Sports Hall, a sports hall that knows the legends of Vlade Divac and Sasha Djordjevic. And right now, Partizan, the players playing like they're heroes, as they've got the score leveled up at 69 each. Well, both teams have played nothing but man-to-man defense throughout. And on the timeout, Kuban have possession. Now they have the option to extend it into their front court. If they do that on the timeout, they get just 14 seconds on the shot clock. If they take it out under their basket, they get a full 24. There are 32 seconds left, so it looks like Kuban want to advance it forward. And so they will get the ball on the sideline with 14 seconds left. Kuban have Motovilov, Crawford, Cummings, Lynch, and Hervey on the floor for this offensive set. Watch Crawford come off 2 screens here when he gets the ball. Ran a little play for him in the first half. It looks like they're going away from that set. Partizan have Page, Jaramaz, Perkins, Jankovic, and Rayshawn Thomas, the same 5. We just came off the floor. Inbounds pass, stolen by Page. Page looks to the sideline. Both teams are in the penalty here. Slight differential between shot clock and game clock. This isn't a bad foul now for Motovilov, because it means, as he guards on the ball here, a little bit of contact, but it's not a bad foul if you're Kuban. You'll get the ball back after the free throws. And Jaramaz on the timeout, he will come back and shoot some pressure free throws with the score level at 69 each. Well, just take a look at some scores here. Partizan led in scoring by Thomas with 23. Ognjen Jaramaz, who's going to toe the line with 11. Novica Velichkovic with 9. All of those coming in the first half. Has played sparingly here, just in the third quarter. Local Kuban paced in scoring by Jordan Crawford with 16. Reggie Lynch has 10. Kevin Hervey, 15 and 12. So a double-double for Hervey as he puts in a bid to be the player of the game. Hervey has 4 fouls, and Motovilov with 4 fouls. I'm just looking to see if we can see Jaramaz from the stripe. He's an 83% free throw shooter through the season. Sorry, beg your pardon, it is 1 more foul. Okay, so good foul by Motovilov. And 1 to give. Sideline out of bounds. Perkins to bring it in. And there's a 3.8 second differential between shot clock and game clock. So if you're Kuban, I beg your pardon, if you're Partizan, you want to try to manage this clock. Can you go deep in the shot clock? If you get something easy, and I mean really easy at any time in the shot clock, you take it and you go in front. But if you can manage the clock, you want to go deep in that shot clock just to limit the chance for Kuban to come back and score the winning basket. Referee just conferring with our table officials. I want to make sure we get this right because it's been a thoroughly entertaining game of basketball. Okay, we've got the pot right. It's Perkins to bring it in. Jaramaz comes off 3 screens. Page flashes back to the basketball. Kuban remain in man-to-man defense. Page now hands off to Perkins. Perkins checks the shot clock on top of the basket. Perkins stolen, picks up the ball, lays it up. Reverse layup by Josh Perkins. 4 seconds left for Kuban. Long pass to Crawford. Crawford lets fly. It's off the mark. And Partizan come back from 13 points down at halftime to win this one here at home. As both coaches commend each other on what has been a thoroughly entertaining game of basketball. And Partizan, who trailed through large passages of this game, drew level on a 3 from Perkins, and then win it here with a basket by Josh Perkins. And look what it means to coach Filipkovsky. As Perkins emotes, well, he made a 3 to level the score at 69 each. And then he scores the game winner. Here's your final from Belgrade. Partizan Belgrade 71, Loco Kuban 69 in the top 16 of the 7 days EuroCup. Well, the Partizan players pay tribute to whoever's here, and we go courtside
Coach,
to get the thoughts of Coach.
Congratulations, big victory. During the break, you said you need to be brave, and you were, especially in the finish. How do you feel?
We definitely, Eric Mika helped us on 5 position. Here we changed the rhythm of the game, and second half we step up much more aggressive and much more brave. Because of this turbulence, and we lost many games, my players don't have such confidence. But now they see that they can win every game, and I hope that they will break this ice and start playing more confident.
18 seconds till the end. What did you say to the players?
The point was that we attacked the corner. I expected down there switch, and Josh scored 3-pointer. I wanted him to have the ball and to create, and we had a luck. You missed, and we lay up and score.
Thank you. Enjoy.
Thank you.
Well, congratulations to Coach Filipkovsky. Josh Perkins got a little rub of luck there. He lost the handle, got it back, and laid it up and in. Perkins finished with 9, but he had 5 down the stretch. A 3 to level the score at 69 each, and a reverse lay-in to win it 71-69.
Rayshawn, congratulations. Crazy finish. How do you feel?
I'm ecstatic, man. We know we're in a tight race in our group, and we believe that we can finish top 2. So, you know, we really wanted to pull this win out, and it's big for us. It's big for us.
Big battle, especially in second half. How do you feel?
You know, I'm tired, exhausted. That was a hell of a fight. Lokomotiv's a hell of a team, but I'm happy that we showed heart. We showed a lot of heart tonight and came out and stole the victory.
What were you thinking in the finish of the game?
I don't know.
You were positive?
Okay, that was kind of the play that we drew up. No, actually, it went exactly how we planned it. You know, it went exactly how we planned it.
Okay, thank you very much. Enjoy.
Thanks.
Well, some good humor there from the American Rayshawn Thomas, who finished with 23 points and 8 rebounds. Certainly a candidate for player of the game. You can see the line on Thomas there. 8 rebounds, 23 points. He played 29 minutes. And as you said, the last basket, just the way we drew it up. And I love the fact that Coach Filipkowski commended Eric Mika for his contribution tonight. Mika with 8 points in 11 minutes. He was outstanding in the third quarter, as we see highlights in this one. The 6th time that these two teams have played. The 1992 EuroLeague champions against the 2013 EuroCup champions. And it did not fail to deliver. Two clubs with strong basketball traditions went toe-to-toe here in the first half. Kuban at times were outstanding. They led by as many as 18. At halftime, they led by 13. They had 48 points at halftime, and so you've got to commend Partizan as well. Defensively, they gave up just 21 points in the second half. They gave up just 8 points in the third quarter. As we show you some of the highlights from this contest. Jankovic with a block there, and he made some good decisions down the stretch. And Jankovic, look at these feeds here from Jordan Crawford. Great give. But this, the winning basket, Josh Perkins. Fortuitous to get the ball back, having lost it. And he knew where the window was to lay it up and in. Look at Partizan, they rode their luck with 22 turnovers. They had 18 when these two teams met a week ago, and they came up on the short side. Neither team shooting it particularly well from three-point line. 21% for Partizan, 29% for Partizan, 21% for Kuban. Perkins had that timely 3 to knot the score at 69 each. Well, for me, Liam Canny, it is good night from Belgrade. Join us tomorrow as we continue the coverage of the 7 days EuroCup.
Seven days EuroCup in association with